Welcome back. I want to ask you this. I mean, what is the appropriate mix for nuclear?
Well, the ARP 2010-2030, I mean, made it very clear that we need 9.6 gigawatts of nuclear. And I must just clarify.
That's, by the way, at a 5% growth rate, which we aren't getting to.
But I think it would be unreasonable to expect that South Africa will not grow in 10 years, in 15 years.
Well, I hope you're right, from your mouth to God's ears.
But I think it's unreasonable to just assume that we will have a low growth trajectory.
Well, why would you suggest that it's got to be nuclear? My understanding is that renewables prices are coming down quite drastically. Why could we not increase renewables from, say, 21 to 25%, 26%?
Nuclear is not against renewables. We're talking about a mix. We need both renewables.
But you want 9,600 totally from nuclear, as I understand it.
Yeah, because there are so many, as good as renewables are, and as much as we support renewables as a matter of government policy, but clearly there are still a lot of questions that are unanswered about renewables, a lot of uncertainties. If you are going to grow...
And you don't think they are in relation to nuclear?
No. I think, the doctor has also explained that in the long run, nuclear is cheaper.
In the long run, Keynes said we're all dead. The question is, what do we do in the short to medium term run?
In the short to medium term, we have to prepare for the long run. And I think it would be unwise for South Africa to assume that we will have stranded assets, as Melita says, in 10 or 15 years. Because I think that is pure speculation. I think we have to be optimistic and assume that our country will grow, our economy will grow.
Have you done enough research? What I'm trying to say is, are you not now changing the trajectory of your policy, which didn't seem to put all the eggs in the nuclear basket beforehand? Or am I reading your plans wrongly? I don't think I am.
It's a balanced portfolio.
But it's not a balanced portfolio. Everything's going to go to nuclear now.
No.
Well, 9,600. All the increase is going to nuclear.
Double is going into renewables.
No, it's going to...
but 9,600 is going to go into nuclear.
But double that.
He says that's what we needed.
Yeah, but double that is going into renewables.
Right, double.
Double.
So why do we need so much nuclear then?
Because of the trajectory of projected growth in South Africa.
But it's not happening.
Of course.
And why would you want to lock us into something?
I agree with you entirely. We are
not agreeing with me.
We're not magicians. We are not magicians that can look 50 years into the future and tell what the economic growth. The world is an imponderable place. We need to plan for uncertainty.
Just help me here. We're a country which is running a massive deficit on both the current account and on the budget. So we're cash strapped.
Indeed.
We sit on the largest deposits of coal, as I understand it.
Indeed. One of the largest.
Yeah. And we're not using that more?
We have a serious management problem in South Africa. We don't have an energy problem.
We can solve the management problems, really?
We can.
So then why would we not do that, rather?
That's what we should do.
But we also have to reduce our reliance on coal.
Yes, I understand that, but what I'm asking is, but when you're in the kind of economic crisis we are now, why would you want to lock us in to this particular project?
Exactly.
But both coal and nuclear will lock you into a specific
and what might, all right, so before Doctor, I'm going to promise Doctor, but let me ask this, so what might I ask, is your particular...
Renewable energy is a real
Where? Is it going to get you
solution.
9,600?
It's absolutely possible. It is
Sorry,
more than possible to get almost all of our electricity from renewable energy by 2050. By taking away the caps on renewable energy that exist, by removing the barriers, by making it possible for people to put photovoltaics on their roofs and feed into the grid, by Eskom investing in renewable energy instead of new mega coal-fired power stations.
By putting up the price.
By putting up the price. Doctor, help me here. Because can we do this through, why can't we do this through renewables as they're suggesting?
Solar power gives you the most power in the middle of the day. The morning when you need it the most, it gives you nothing. In the evening when you need it the most, it gives you nothing. Wind is a bit better. The wind often blows at the coast in the late evening.
Don't tell me I come from Cape Town.
Yeah, so that'll help. But one night it blows, another night not. So it's the right thing. But it's unreliable. So if you put a lot of gas turbines, that can work. So you can have solar and you can have wind. It can work only if you've got cheap gas. So that because the gas turbines, you can spin them up very quickly.
Let me ask you this then. On that particular basis, we've got a series of options.
Indeed.
Right? Now, are we exploring those options prudently, properly?
Well, certainly the integrated
I'm
resource...
going to come to the question of renewables, and I'd like you to to incorporate that into your answer as well, in terms of what Melita's been saying.
The Integrated Resource Plan for Electricity proposes a balanced portfolio
Yes,
of technologies, including a very significant renewable energy component. In fact, it's the biggest component of the new build, by far, is renewable energy. But as you pointed out, David, remember the intermittency of wind and the intermittency of solar means if you install 100 megawatts, you effectively only get an average of 25 megawatts out. So although they might be putting in 20,000 megawatts of renewable energy over the next 20 years, the average output of that is about 25% of that. So the point is, David made very well. All these different technologies have different advantages.
Yeah, it's complicated.
And they all have a place in this mix. And it's not one versus the other.
But why is it then that, well then maybe I'm incorrect, and not just me, because I'm now reflecting what is a public discourse, is that the recent announcements seem to frame things, that we're putting our huge amount, or many of our eggs, in the nuclear basket.
No. Well, we seem to be...
I promise I'll come to you. Yeah.
We seem to be making decisions without following due process. Certainly, if you were to read the press release issued by the Department of Energy and the Russian Nuclear Energy Agency, Rosatom, this has subsequently been denied.
Yeah.
But frankly, there's a big public skepticism, a huge public skepticism about a new build of 1 trillion rand, between 500 billion and 1 trillion rand. There's a great public suspicion that deals are being done behind closed doors. And I don't have a problem with nuclear per se, but I believe it's critical that we follow due process.
I know I want to ask NERSA about that, but I have to take a break first.